Oh my God, if I don't pass this class, I'm going to be like self-motivated. So I think I started working hard.
纽约大学对吧 Emory 这些名校都录取了。
Yeah, pharmacy school for me, it was definitely not easy. I like helping out my friends or classmates. 不好意思，我中文不太好。
哈，大家好，我是 Sherry。
大家好，我叫 Erica。
这是我的 Stanford daughter， 我是后妈。今天我采访一下我们家这位特别优秀的大女儿，怎么样从小的时候学习平平，然后一步一步做到了这个医药博士。当年考大学的时候被纽约大学对吧 Emory 这些名校都录取了，最后呢你选择了这个医药博士，现在呢是年薪100万人民币啊，不是美金，100万这样一个工作。这一路的这个历程，咱们听听他，看看对我们的家长呀或者是年轻的朋友们有没有借鉴。好，我们现在开始吧。小时候你对你的学习状况满意吗？你小时候的一个学习状况是什么样的？比如相对弟弟而言呀。
Was not. I definitely didn't work hard when I was like growing up. I think from childhood up till high school, I was a very average student. I think I didn't put in too much effort to try to be like to have like straight A's or anything, and that's also because I thought like I was going to go to art school or something, like do something where grades did not matter. And I just wasn't too interested or engaged.
是从几年级开始有意识的啊，我要好好学习了？这是你自己意识到呢，还是父母 push 你去做到的？
Yeah, I don't know why. No matter like what my parents would tell me, I don't think it would like change my mindset. But I think I'm someone who has to be like self-motivated. So I think I started working hard like maybe my junior year of high school, so very late. But I don't think I developed good study habits until college. But starting around high school, I realized like, wow, for 2 years straight, I've had very mediocre grades and I don't want to go to like a bad college. So that's when I realized I need to change my habits and like get my priorities straight.
比如说你有哪些改变你的 habits 学习上？
Oh, yeah, like I just never studied for more than 30 minutes. I don't think I realized like to learn or master a topic, it takes like hours and hours. You can't just like read through a chapter once and then like be done with it. So I think how I perform best is like by learning through like writing, muscle memory, color coding things. I think that helps keep me engaged. Like it's really hard for me to just study by like rereading it and then like practicing it orally. So yeah, that's how I started to figure out what works best for me. Not like with topics like STEM, I'm actually not naturally that good at it. It definitely takes me more time and discipline to learn these topics compared to like a lot of other people. Like I think you can say that like most Asians are pretty good at math. Yeah. I'm like not good at math at all. Yeah, I think I've always leaned towards the liberal arts. So yeah, topics like that would come easy to other people like biology, chemistry, or math. Like I would have to study like take more time to really understand the topic. And when I took the SATs, I think like the writing and reading portion came quite easily to me. Like I scored like it didn't take too much work for me to score highly in those two scores. But for math, like I had to get a private tutor. I had to like spend a lot of time. And even then my final math score was not that good.
认为你的成绩不是很好，但是呢你被很多的名校录取，刚才也说了纽约大学 Emory 呀，你觉得你是哪方面更胜出更厉害？
Okay. I knew that my grades were definitely not going to carry me into a good college, so I had to focus on like all the standard tests, like the SATs, the AP, and I think college is really like when you can commit to something long term, like a sport. So that was helpful. I did track and field. I played the violin, so I was like in orchestra and stuff. And then I joined.
你还参加了，我记得是你们州一块出去比赛，都拿奖，你相当于首席的那个小提琴师，对吧？
Yeah. So then I'm not like that good at the violin either, but like I was like okay enough where like I could like audition for like in competitions and stuff. So that helped like a little bit maybe.
还有你做那个义工，到红十字会去，到医院去做义工啊，这些东西。
Oh yeah. I think it's been so long since I was in high school, but yeah, things college is like is if you do a sport, if you play an instrument, like long-term commitments, if you like have a lot of volunteer hours, that's all things they care about.
Yeah, 就你做了哪些呢？
Oh, so I was in track and field. So I did track for like 3 years in high school. I was in orchestra. I did do volunteering at a hospital. So yeah, I tried to cover those bases, knowing that my grades were not that good.
比如说你的文书觉得写的怎么样？就是你的 essay。
Okay.
essay.
I mean, honestly, like I can't say just because it's not like college admissions ever tells you why they accepted you. I feel like some of my strengths, because I'm not really like a fantastic student, but like I think some of my strengths are that if you were to look at like my transcript and like my progress like over the years of high school, you would see that I improved. So I think that's like one strength, because it's like, oh, this is a student that she didn't start out doing very well, but over time she kept working harder.
Yeah. 就是你的努力让他们看见。
Yeah. So they
不停地在进步。
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I think that contributed maybe, and then I'm okay at writing. I think that's like one of my strengths. I would say like reading and writing. So I definitely would say like probably the essays I wrote were decent. But I can't say for sure. Yeah.
OK. 就是说你最后为什么要选择这个东北大学去学这个医药博士？那么纽约呀、Emory 呀，还有其他很多大学都录取你了，你为什么没选择那些大学
？So I think I just, at the time, I didn't know if I wanted to go to pharmacy school or not. I think I was like having a debate with it, like about it with my parents too. So then I just decided that Northeastern would be a good option, because I would go to their pharmacy program, and it's a big enough university where if I felt like this wasn't for me and I could change my major, I would still be at like a university that has like offers other options. So that was like my logic at the time. And then also it's in Boston. I like really wanted to move to Boston at the time. Yeah.
因为爸爸妈妈都是在波士顿那边学校毕业的哈，就是对那边有感情。下面一个问题就是说，你进了大学之后，就 pharmacy 这个其实很枯燥、很难学的，都是什么医药名词啊什么。但是有段时间你还是学的比较 struggle 那种的啊，怎么克服这种状态，然后最后顺利毕业的
？Yeah, pharmacy school for me, it was definitely not easy. And I think, pretty sure my dad didn't even want me to do it, because I think he thought that I would not be able to like put in the work to stay in like the program. Yeah, so I think my first year I got by okay, but then what happened was like I did really poorly on one exam. So each class has like 3 exams, and that's like what your grade is. And then on one of the exams I got like a 40%. It was so bad. And then that's when I realized like I needed to get like a 95 on the final to pass the class. So then I really panicked and was like, oh my God, if I don't pass this class, I'm going to like get held back a whole year, and that's going to be so embarrassing. So then that's when I realized, okay, I actually have to like spend all my time studying. So then like every night I like went to the library. Like from 9 a.m. I would go to the library and stay there until like 12 a.m. and like just like really trying to study. And then during that time when I was like in panic mode, I just figured out exactly like, oh, this is how my formula for how to like learn a topic, how to memorize everything. And then I managed to pass the class. And then after that, I think everything just clicked for me, because I'm like not naturally a STEM person. So I have to find like kind of like creative ways to memorize topics, because things like biochemistry, like medchem, that's like very difficult for me to conceptualize sometimes. So I kind of need to like make a visual aid, like I'll draw it out and stuff, and that really helps me learn it. Yeah, and then I also just learned that in pharmacy school, like just because it's so much memorization, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room to do well either, because like through the years, like it's a 6-year program, some people would get held back, some people would take breaks and stuff. And a lot of times I would see some people burn out, and maybe they had like family things going on or other stuff that wouldn't let them focus on school. Like, and I would think they're like a lot smarter than me. They would get held back. And that's just because like it's more a matter of how much time can you commit to learning these topics. So
你很多同学有的就是学不下去了啊。
Yeah, so I joined like a pharmacy organization with like 12 other people my freshman year, and we were all really close and we studied together all the time, and that definitely what helped pull me through. Like I found good friends to like motivate me. I think that's really important in college to like I think if I hadn't met these friends, I probably would have like maybe even like dropped out like to a different like major. But yeah, these friends helped me. We all studied together and had each other's backs. And of those 12 people,
就是你毕业了之后呢，你又是怎么样找到这么好的工作，并且在第一年之后，你就是被猎头公司发现，又去了一家更好的公司，就怎么样这个经过，然后别人可以借鉴你的这些一些建议。
Okay. So as I progressed through like my pharmacy program, I realized that there's different career paths you can take within like any field and within my field too. So there's like, you can work at a hospital, so that's called clinical pharmacy, or you can work at like CVS, that's retail pharmacy, or you can go into like the pharmaceutical industry. So there's like different pathways you can take. And then I found during my final year of pharmacy school that there's something called medical writing. And I was lucky to have like a rotation at like a pharma company where where I would be exposed to that kind of role. And I really liked it because I think it's like a compromise between what I'm naturally inclined to and what I studied through school. Like naturally I really like writing and stuff, but I spent like 6 years getting like a PharmD. And so medical writing is kind of like that in between, which works very well for me. And so I knew that very early on my last year of pharmacy school. So I knew like once it was like March, 2 months before I graduated, I would apply to like a bunch of different roles for medical writing. And I was also lucky that I ended up getting close to my mentor at the pharma company. So she was able to suggest to me some companies to apply to and put in a good word for me. So I think I was very like lucky in that I also was like had met people to kind of guide me through that process. I think it was helpful. I guess it's like networking, right? Like you happen to know people to kind of help you out, put in a good word for you. Because I think it's easier to find a job when you know exactly what you want to do.
Internship 这个做的比较多有没有关系？你做多长时间 internship？
So that depends. So I think my program specifically, the first 4 years we were required to do 3 internships. We call them rotations. And each one is 4 months long. And I think that's pretty important because even within pharmacy, like grades are not the most important thing. Every pharmacy manager I've spoken to, when like they tell me about like when they're looking to hire new people, they don't care that like you got straight A's. In pharmacy school, they care that like you're able to like work in an organic setting. Are you able to speak to patients? Are you able to engage and like work hard? If you don't study pharmacy, I don't know if this applies to you. But yeah, it definitely helps. It's not the only thing that matters. It helped that I had done like an internship directly related to what I do now. So I was able to talk about that. And I also, what I do, it's helpful to have research published. Because it shows that you're capable of like understanding scientific language and you've gone through like that whole process. So I was lucky in that my last year, I also got close with my addiction medicine pharmacist. So we worked together to put together a manuscript to publish, which was pretty cool. So those things helped me. And I think I just practiced a lot. Once I knew, I practiced for my interviews. I like researched to see, what kind of questions are they going to ask? I like rehearsed a lot.
你不但是自己找工作，你还要帮你的同学们都找工作，
Yeah.
介绍工作，这很强，对。
It's important because I like helping out my friends or classmates when it comes to that stuff. Just because, I mean, I needed a lot of help too when I was applying for jobs. I don't think I would have gotten the first job I landed without the fact that I happen to know an alumni who worked there too, who was able to like refer me. Like, so yeah, I like if my friend asks about my field or if they like need a referral, yeah, I'm like very gladly available to help.
不但自己找到工作，还帮同学都找到工作，这种能力真的是很强的，就是对，非常好。
Oh yeah, I mean, I think for me also, I'm not a very competitive person. I think that's where a lot of my like imposter syndrome came from because like I'm surrounded by classmates that are very competitive. Like I need to be number one. I won't help you because that means like you'll threaten me. Like I feel like I never really feel that way. So like I don't see the harm in helping people. Like I don't I don't really think like, oh, if I help them, that means like we're going to compete for the same job or something. Yeah, I don't have those kinds of
心态特别好。
sentiments. Yeah.
谢谢你
Yes.
今天给大家的这个